Russia's airstrikes targeting Ukraine's power grid have plunged countless people into darkness. Almost half of Ukraine's power grid, the entire nationwide power grid, is now offline, the result of Russian attacks. Now, that means that millions of people are without power, water, and heating tonight, and winter is knocking at the door.
Captured Russian tanks covered in the winter's first snow, a reminder of when Kyiv was much closer to the front lines. But while the fighting may be further away, the war is ever present, as daily Russian strikes have plunged hundreds of thousands into darkness. Unfortunately, Russia continues to launch missile strikes on Ukraine's civilian critical infrastructure, waging war against the civilian population and depriving them of light, water, heat and communications during the winter. Almost half our energy system has been disabled, while authorities are scrambling to repair the battered power grid as best they can. Residents are preparing for more blackouts. I'm not counting on gas. We bought firewood in the spring when it was already clear it would be tough in winter. I'm going to live with my parents and use a stove for heating. It makes life more difficult, but I bought flashlights and candles, so everything is fine. We will survive this winter. But with Russian missiles striking across Ukraine, for millions that winter will be cold and dark.
Well, I'm joined now by Maria Avdieva, a Ukrainian security analyst. She joins me tonight from Odessa. Maria, it's good to see you again. And since you and I are able to talk now via Skype, I assume you have electricity. Big question, though, with the weather the way it is, do you have heat tonight?
Well, actually, the place where I'm staying now, this hotel, is running on generator for the last 3 days, because it's the third day when the power outages are extremely high in Odessa. And according to the latest, 70% of the population of people and consumers in Odessa don't have electricity for 3 days in a row. So the only way how you can get internet connection and electricity is if you have the generator. And apart from electricity, communication is a very vital thing that is now missing for a lot of people, because the antennas, the power, the grid, the communication grid needs electricity as well, and the batteries die very fast in 4 or 5 hours, and after that there is no possibility for people to make calls.
Maria, let me ask you this then. If so many people there in Odessa are without power, how are they coping? Because I assume not everyone can have a power generator. If you do have a generator, that means you have to have enough gasoline or diesel to run it. So what are people doing there to cope?
Absolutely. For a lot of people, this is a total disaster. There are like districts where everything is dark, and the situation is very hard, not only for Odessa, but the nearby regions. I have been also to Mykolaiv and to Kherson, and people are struggling because for many, electricity is also the mean to heat their apartments, because they can then use some heaters, and without the electricity this is not working. And moreover, the water pumps need electricity to run, so no electricity for many people means no heating and no water, and the temperatures are getting really low now, especially during the night hours when people are sleeping.
And what you are describing is a situation that many people will not be able to withstand for a very long time. You've got winter coming. You've got people without power, without heating. I'm wondering, Maria, do you think that we are at the beginning now of another people exodus? Will Ukrainians once again have to leave their homes just to survive and to find heat?
People were trying to prepare themselves for this winter, because everyone in Ukraine knew, and the government was warning people that this will be the most difficult winter for Ukraine ever. But it's very difficult to prepare yourself for this kind of situation. So for now, people are still hoping that the government will be able to cope with the situation and this will not become critical, because the officials were preparing for this as well. Many hospitals, schools, kindergartens have generators, so people who work and who take care about the children, they can provide this. But for how long will this last depends on how will Ukraine be able to protect itself from the possible rocket attacks that might come from Russia.
Maria Avdieva joining us tonight from Odessa. Maria, we appreciate you taking time to talk with us, helping us better understand what people there are going through. Thank you.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.